about sports. Howdy, Ags from the Tailgate, the home of Aggie Football. This is Coach and the delivery man, Mr. Corey the Sea Castle.
Thank you.
Today's episode brought to you by Frida Homes, building Aggie dreams. Custom home builders with over 15 years of experience in Brazos Valley. If you're looking for someone that cares about you and the details you care about, contact Frida Homes. Visit them on Instagram at frida.homes or give Justin a call at 979-450-4466. When you call, just remember, everyone loves their Frida Homes. Folks, don't forget to email us at agstailgate@gmail.com. Catch us on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube right now. All right? Leave us some comments, subscribe.
Yeah.
Corey.
Hello.
We've been on vacay.
Vacay. I'm about to go back on it.
There's no telling.
Yep.
There's no telling. You know, it's always crazy because, you know, during the summer the schedule gets a little hectic, especially for, you know, summer vacays and all this stuff going on and everything else, all the different things. Not to mention, I mean, there's not a ton of good football news going out there.
No.
And on that note, I do want to start with some huge news. Today.
What?
Aggies beat Tennessee.
There it is. Big news.
Aggies beat Tennessee, first round of the SEC baseball
how did
tournament.
they beat them?
And not only that, 3-0.
What?
3-0
What?
shutout.
Get out of here. Who pitched?
I would have bet any amount of money you could have said that they would not shut out Tennessee.
Yeah. Wasling?
A one hit shutout. Watson goes 8 innings.
8 innings.
8 innings.
It's impressive. Rain delay for about an hour and a half. Yeah. Aggies did what they had to do, won that game. They're in the big dance, right?
They're in the dance. Look, they finished off the season. The regular season record is 32-23 in the SEC, 14-16 in the SEC.
Yeah.
You know, Alabama fires their coach because he's betting apparently against them. And
weird.
And they fire their coach and go on an absolute run, including taking 2 out of 3 from A&M. But then A&M comes back and turns it around, takes 2 out of 3 from Mississippi State.
Right.
You know, and as we're sitting there watching those games, we're like, holy crap, are they going to hold on?
Yeah,
right?
It was nerve-wracking.
Even game 1, they were ahead big
and lost.
And then lost. So,
yeah.
You know, the one thing about this Aggie baseball team is, two things. One, they can score some runs, right? They can score some runs with just about anybody.
Right.
But boy, on most occasions, they give up some runs.
They give up a lot of runs. But the thing is, they have the pitching. I mean, we watched them this weekend against Mississippi State, they're having a down year, but at the same time, I mean, we saw a guy named Cortez come out there and throw 100 miles an hour. Detmer, he has good stuff, and these are guys the pros are looking at. There's a Garcia. I can't remember his first name. I don't know if it was Andy, but Garcia, he has stuff they say that the pros like. The lineup is
stacked.
Littered, yeah.
Super stacked.
I mean, our freshmen's leading our team, and a team that brought back most of
everybody.
everybody.
Been amazing all year long. Minnick has a grand slam this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, he's since the shoulder injury, he's been down a little bit, but he's starting to hit it again.
Right.
You know, he's our boy, he's our guy.
Right.
I hope he just starts lighting it up here in the tournament because honestly, you know, I think he deserves it, man. I think he deserves it, and he's going to go get drafted and go play at the next level. But you know, it's just, to me, it's unbelievable how this team has played all year, and then all of a sudden they show up at the SEC tournament and the pitching shows up, right?
It's crazy. Schloss has been messing with us all year.
Good luck to those guys going forward. They play Arkansas next in the SEC tournament, and then we'll see where they get put in.
Didn't do too good against Arkansas last time we played.
No, and so that'll be a good test.
Yeah, we should be due. We should be due for that one.
That's for sure.
Well, who are we throwing? You think Detmer's going to pitch that one?
I would bet.
I guess.
Yeah. I'd bet it's Detmer.
Yeah, I guess.
Little women's golf here, played in the quarterfinals, and I bring this one up of the NCAA championships. They played TU. TU, who was ranked ahead of them. Eliminate the Horns.
Gone.
Eliminate Horns down. Ooh. Horns down. What?
That's going to be, somebody's going to be going
Poor thing.
Yeah,
they play number 3 Wake Forest afterwards. Actually, this afternoon, they probably already played. I don't know what happened. Men's golf, huge comeback to force a playoff with host Clemson in the regionals.
Mm-hmm.
They get in, and they're going to the NCAA championships May 26th to 31st, so that's coming up.
Yep.
A little bit of basketball news.
Yep.
Boots announces he's coming back.
That's big.
Hey, look, we expected it, right? We expected it. Just because of the fact that he's probably not a guy going to the NBA draft, right? So, might as well come back, play another year, try to go win a championship. He's made it official. On top of that, Buzz has added a couple of transfer guys. Eli Lawrence, a 6'5" guard out of Middle Tennessee, and Jace Carter, another 6'5" guy out of Illinois, Chicago, right?
So they're pretty much Dexter Dennis replacements.
Correct.
It sounds just like him. 6'5".
Yep.
Same size, build, yep.
And
can shoot a little bit.
Can score a little bit.
Right? They can play the same defense he played. He played great defense last year.
That's absolutely
ups. Yeah, ups.
The one thing that they haven't added, and we've talked about this before, is sort of a stretch 4 type guy, right?
They need that, yeah.
Or even some real size inside.
Or just a really knockdown shooter.
That's also.
I mean, they're talking about Wade. I think Wade's as close as they have to a knockdown shooter.
Oh yeah. Look, he's 100% their best player, right? I mean, there's no question. It's him, Boots, and then everybody else, right?
Yeah, I don't know who you call next.
Maybe Coleman. Maybe Coleman.
Maybe
but next year it could be maybe a solo. Could Solo improve to the point where is it
back Manny?
Obaseki could have it. So there's some guys, right, that are in the mix for that. But the point being is that the team is basically coming back intact other than Dennis, right?
That's it.
And so you think you have a chance at a pretty good run with a much better start to the year.
Well, it's the same thing's going to happen as we always do. We're going to be all excited about the preseason. Oh, Aggie's going to be ranked in the preseason top 25, and then what's going to happen? We're going to get disappointed. I'd rather us – oh, man, I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to suck. Our basketball team's going to suck. And that way everybody can come back and go, what? And that not expect –
How about this?
They don't expect so much. And then
call it right now because nobody's going to ever remember that I said this.
What?
Sweet 16, baby. Sweet 16 next year. I'm calling it.
I'm not even sure.
Y'all heard it here first.
I'm not even sure.
Aggie basketball, Buzz Williams, Taylor, Boots, all those guys, Sweet 16. Book it. Get your tickets.
There it is.
Done.
Kiss of death.
Done.
Kiss of death.
100%, right?
Aggie's probably wanting to make the tournament. Somebody's going to blow out an ankle. Buzz is getting fired. That's probably it.
No.
That's it. We're done.
Look, that could be the kiss of death, but that's how I feel though, right now. And I'm calling it. I'm a prognosticator, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm a prognosticator. All right.
Can you spell that?
But I can say it.
Yeah. So what? Okay, so last year in football, what did we take the over in wins?
No, did we?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Because I'm saying you're doing the kiss of death right now.
We took the over.
Yeah, you did. That's what you're doing right now. Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Ah, shit.
So they may make. You're saying they may make the Final Four? Is that what you're saying? I'm going Sweet 16. They're going to go Final Four.
I don't know if they'll win a game.
Yeah, well, maybe not. I'm going to turn to football, buddy.
Right,
turn to football because supposedly this is the football show.
Football.
Home of Aggie Football.
Home.
Insiders telling me some stuff.
All right.
Insiders telling me some stuff.
Yep.
So they're about to have the SEC meetings.
Yep.
And in those SEC meetings, they're going to vote on the 24 schedule format for the SEC football schedule.
That's when Texas and OU come.
Adding Texas OU.
Right.
And so obviously we got to change something up. They got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? We've only got a year in between, so they're going to figure it out.
Yep.
And there's 2 basic proposals that they're putting out there.
Go ahead.
One, the 8-team SEC schedule.
Yep.
Kind of like we have now.
Right.
Except no divisions. You get 1 permanent rival, which you pay every year.
Right. We got Vandy.
And then the other 14 teams, you play 7 one year and 7 the next.
So we play Vandy every year.
No.
I think that's a good call.
That would be awesome, though.
Play Vandy every year.
Yeah, I'd take that. So that's proposal number 1, 8 teams.
Yeah.
Right? You visit, in either proposal actually, you visit every team at least every 4 years. So you
every 4 years?
You play every team every 2 years, but you go to their stadium at least once every 4 years.
Huh.
So that means every player that sticks around will be able to play.
So
at
there
every
going to be
stadium
divisions at all? Is there even going to be
No
divisions? No divisions at all.
No divisions.
So it's just one big conference, and
then the top 2 at the end of the year, no matter who they are,
will play each other
in the championship game.
I got you.
Now then there's the 9-team schedule. 9-team schedule, you have 3 permanent opponents. So 3 teams that you face every year, and then 6 that you face every other year, right? So the other 12 teams, half and half every other year.
So it's still not divisions.
Still not divisions.
So there's no divisions at all.
No divisions.
I thought their whole thing was they're going to have 2 divisions. And
no, they threw out. They remember they floated the pod thing and all this stuff. All that got thrown out.
This is all news because last time they talked to me, like, Corey, what do you think?
When you were talking to the conference,
Shanky and all
Shanky and those guys.
Yeah, they're like, what do you think? I was like, I'll tell you. Keep the divisions. Let's put Texas, Oklahoma in the West. Let's move. I guess we're going to have to move Alabama and Auburn to the East, and we'll go with it.
That would have been bad.
I don't think so either. You play Texas, Oklahoma every year.
So that's not an option. So that's out the door.
Obviously.
But we've got these 2 options, right? The 8-team and 9-team.
Yep.
So I love the 9-team setup. And by the way, the three opponents for A&M
LSU
would be LSU, Texas, and Mississippi State.
Really? Not Arkansas?
Not Arkansas. Because Arkansas is probably going to have Arkansas is probably going to have Texas, Oklahoma, and I can't remember who the third one is. But anyway,
probably Missouri.
And Missouri, maybe. And so that to me is the best situation because you get to keep all those natural rivalries, right?
Yeah.
We get to keep the LSU thing going. We get to keep the Texas thing going. Yeah, Mississippi State, whatever.
Right.
But for Alabama, who plays right now, every year, obviously, they're going to have Auburn.
Right.
That's a no question.
Yeah.
But they play Tennessee every year. That's a rivalry that's been developed over so many years, right? And I don't remember who their third team is, but who cares, right? At the end of the day, those LSU. 2 rivalries are important.
Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn probably who it would be.
It could be at LSU. For a team like Georgia, they get Florida and, whoever they're Tennessee and whatever, right? But you get to keep those multiple rivalries going as a yearly game, right?
Right.
So if
you're Tennessee, you're telling me you play Alabama and Georgia every year?
I bet you they don't want that.
But they also get Vanderbilt.
But they get Vanderbilt.
Oh,
there you go.
I wouldn't want
I guess my point is that, to me, I like the fact that I would like to have the multiple rivalries, right? I would like that because it really does build true rivalries,
right,
to me. And some of these have been going on for so many years. However, my inside sources tell me the vote's going the other way. Vote's going the other way. I fully expect this to be an 8-game SEC schedule.
So we play 4 out of
with
conference?
one set rival, 4 out of conference.
So we get 4 out of conference like we have
now.
now. We'll have 1 set rival, which will be for us
LSU.
So we got LSU plays us, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Not sure about Arkansas. Probably going to be South Carolina or somebody. Because South Carolina didn't have a rival anymore because we're playing them every year right now. Right?
Yeah, but it could be somebody from the East.
That's what I'm saying. So Tennessee, Vandy, Georgia, Florida, Missouri.
Could be Kentucky. South Carolina.
Yeah.
Kentucky, Missouri. So yeah, I mean, but that's more or less, and then Texas, Oklahoma.
And then you play every team, so you're pretty much a round robin. You play them everybody every 2 years.
Every 2 years. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad schedule, but I like the three rivalry games because of the fact that it really does maintain a lot of those rivalries. But there's a couple of things holding it up. There's a couple of things, and I think most people would probably vote that way, except that the schools are saying we're not going to go with the 9-teamer unless we get rid of the rule that requires us to have at least one non-conference opponent that's a Power 5 opponent. Currently, we have that. We would keep that in the 8-team format. So, for example, we get Miami.
Right.
Alabama always plays somebody. They're playing Texas this year.
Right.
But a team like South Carolina, who's basically has to play Clemson.
Right.
They don't want to have to play Clemson while everybody else plays 3 cupcakes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Everybody, and you know what? I want an out-of-conference schedule for the Power 5 team. It gives us a better measurement from conference to conference. It gives you another test. And in the world of the 12-team playoff, it's all right if you lose a game.
When is that supposed to start?
2024. So all of these things, to me, really push towards a 9-team setup plus a 1 out-of-conference game. But the teams won't do it unless they actually agree to get rid of that extra 1 because some of them teams don't want to play.
Are they still talking about expanding the SEC besides Oklahoma and Texas? I'm talking like I've heard ACC schools get mentioned. There's I heard about maybe Clemson.
There's talk, and
North Carolina. I heard Florida.
Right now, it's all still in the rumor stages, right? Under the table sort of conversations,
right?
Anyway, so it looks like, and the other reason that they're going to stick to the 8-teamer is because the SEC wants some leverage over ESPN. ESPN has now taken over the entirety of the SEC football schedule.
Really?
Right? They are the sole
because of the
TV provider, right? And so, but ESPN doesn't want to renegotiate now that we've added Texas and Oklahoma. They don't want to increase the money.
So is ABC part of ESPN?
Yes.
So that's SEC network is ESPN too, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine. We watch those games there anyway. So
but my point is that the SEC wants to have some leverage to try to get ESPN to increase the money.
Oh, of course.
And so they're going to keep that 9-game SEC schedule in their pocket for that.
Right.
Either way, you should expect that in 2024 we're paying an 8-game SEC schedule with 1 rival.
Okay. I think it'll change sooner than that. I mean, this thing changes all the time.
It probably will only last a couple of years, and then you can see it change again. So
I really think we're going to get more teams in the SEC.
It's probably going to happen. All right. So let me ask you this. Which schedule would you prefer?
I mean, I like the one where you play the 3 teams every year. Like you play LSU, Oklahoma, Texas. That's a hell of a...
Texas and Mississippi State?
Mississippi State. I'm sorry. That's still a hell of a lineup playing Texas and LSU every year.
That'd be great, though. Now we're talking going back to those.
But where do you play LSU and Texas? Do you play Texas on Thanksgiving now, and you move LSU back? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because we've been playing LSU on Thanksgiving. Now if we play just LSU, that'll be just the Thanksgiving game. Is that what that is?
I feel like if LSU's are 1, then they're the Thanksgiving game.
Because Texas was at the Thanksgiving game forever.
But if they're not one of our rivals, they're definitely not going to be in competition for that.
I mean, yeah.
Here's the other thing.
I think they're kind of losing that rivalry.
I'd love to get rid of that end of the season garbage game, which is my biggest reason for.
So you only play 3 out of conference teams?
Yeah, but I hate playing that.
Oh, I love it.
School of the Blind
like
the week before.
Look at App State last year. That could have been our School of the Blind game.
Could have been. Instead, we played. Who was it?
Prairie View.
Prairie View A&M.
Yeah.
So I don't want to play Prairie View A&M in November.
I don't want to lose to them.
Exactly. So I think we're both in accord, and I do think we'll eventually get there. But I believe that 24, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. 3 Aggies drafted in the NFL draft, my friend.
Go ahead.
Antonio Johnson goes to Jacksonville.
Yep.
A-Chain goes to Miami. Jalen Jones goes to the Colts.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
Jalen Jones, I'm glad he got drafted. I heard good things about his combine. He's fast, he's big. He never lived up to his potential at A&M, I don't believe. He has a lot of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Johnson did live up to his potential. I think he got drafted too low.
Yeah.
I think he should have gone higher, but I think he's in a good spot in Jacksonville. Because I think that team's young. They have a young quarterback, young running backs, young skill players.
And he's going to get on the field.
Yeah, and plus he's got another Aggie over there with him.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk. So, he'll know people, which I think means something when you go somewhere. It's always awkward. You go to a new environment. You're always a rookie at first, but you got to know somebody to show you around. I think he's going to be fun. I think he's so athletic. He's going to do great. And A-Chain, that team has so much speed.
Isn't that going to be crazy?
If they
Waddle, Cheetah, A-Chain, all in the same.
If he can do it right, you got to be able to coach that, but it'd be fun trying.
Yeah. I'd love to. You know who I'd love to see with that group? as a coach? Andy Reid.
Oh, he'd run them all over the place. Look what he did to Tyreek Hill.
Unreal.
He knows how to get people open.
Oh, yeah. Unreal. I
wonder if Jimbo heard that. Jimbo, you hear that? He knows how to get people open.
People get open?
Yeah.
Anyway, look, I think, for number one, I think all three of them got drafted later than they probably should have, in all honesty. ESPN, after the draft, came up with this list of top 100 draft picks in the draft.
Yeah.
Not like who the top 100 picks were, but the 100 best selections.
In what position? Yeah.
All three of them were in the top 100.
We're in the top 100.
Antonio Johnson was up pretty high. A-Chain was in the middle, and then Jalen Jones was towards the end. But still,
I can't believe it.
Jalen Jones was a 7th-round pick.
I'm worried James about making the team. Because
I'm not worried about him making the team. You don't get his kind of size at the corner position very often, right? It's not common to get a guy with his sort of tools and size. I think he's going to be better at the next level than he was in college.
I hope so. If he tried, it just seems like he didn't try sometimes. He'd take plays off. I don't know why that is. I mean, he'd start the season off great. Remember a couple years ago, like, oh, Jalen Jones on the island out there. And first 2-3 games, he's shutting everything. After that, it's like everybody started picking on him.
I think also that there's a chance that at some point that he moves into a safety type position too, right? I mean, he's a big physical guy, and he can go play.
He's big. I don't know about physical, but he's big.
So
he's fast.
I like where it's at, and you know, Jackson. As far as Indianapolis, I mean, he's going to end up with the Colts. I mean, they need help in the secondary too. So, and they play that zone scheme that probably protects him from getting beat 1-on-1, which is one of his weaknesses, right?
Right.
So I actually like where he ended up. I'll tell you this. Last year, a year ago this time, we spoke about Spiller and how much we liked where he ended up. And he did not get on the field one day, right?
Hardly, yeah.
And in this case, we got A-Chain, and we love the thing over here in Miami. They don't have like a true bell cow running back, right? They do the running back by committee. And
who do they have, Mozart, and then the other guy is some guy they traded for, wasn't it?
Yeah, the guy from the 49ers. Wilson, right?
Wilson, that's right.
And so, you know, they've got those guys, and they're good players.
Yeah.
But neither one of them is like this, you know, phenomenal back. And they both have his injury history. You know, I think with them, he's at least going to get some touches. Not to mention, you can move him around the formation, right?
Because Wilson did pretty good for the 49ers when he was there. Mozart, where did he come from? He played
also the 49ers.
Yeah, they both did pretty well.
And I think Wilson had a pretty good year for the Dolphins last year, too, once he got there.
Yeah.
You know, I guess my point is, though, that he can get in the rotation over there and should get touches. With his speed, they can even move him out and let him flex out and get out some wide receiver reps, you know, get him the ball.
I think how nervous secondary is going to be. Man. You get that kind of speed out there?
Dude.
Jeez.
I love it. I love where he ended up.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that I think their coach is an idiot, but that's.
Well, you're not a big Tua fan either, right?
I'm not a big Tua fan, but that could be a good thing for A-Chain just because he can get rid of the ball real quick and you know let him do his thing. And then, like I said, I've always thought Antonio Johnson was a player. You know how I feel about the guy. I think he's going to show up in Jacksonville and force himself onto the field.
Oh, I think Rookie of the year. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, if he gets on the field, gets consistent playing time, just what he can do. Because it was, 2 years ago when we weren't expecting a whole lot, and all of a sudden he just blew up. I think he can do the same kind of thing.
And last year he was playing exceptionally and then he got hurt, right? I mean, so I really believe he's going to show up over there and his skill set's going to, you know, shine, and he's going to be on the field. So I like where they ended up. Do I wish they would have been a little bit higher? Sure, just because they could have made a little bit more money. Good for them.
They'll be fine.
But they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Some transfer portal news, I think, since our last stop, and some of these guys we already knew about.
All right.
But let's go through this list. All right. So Josh DeBerry, cornerback, Boston College, 5'11", 177.
Yes.
Finn Durstein, offensive guard, Boston College, 6'4", 316.
Yes.
David Bailey, running back, Colorado State, formerly of Boston College, 6', 225. I'm going to start there. I want those three guys.
I'm telling you, that's game breakers right there, all three of them.
So, I don't know if you know this, but last year, Boston College was 3-9.
So they're about there with the Aggies.
Yeah, 3-9.
We're 5-7.
And all of a sudden, we're getting an influx of former Boston College players.
It's because what's his name coached over there?
Adazio, who's also, by the way, our worst coach.
Yeah.
So our worst coach is bringing in players from his horrible team, and we're getting excited about this here at A&M. Why?
Who got excited?
Well, your boys at Texags make all these guys look like all-stars.
Yeah.
Hey, DeBerry was a second-team All-ACC cornerback. Okay. It's the ACC. They suck.
Yeah. Oh, well. He'll be great at Aggie.
Look, let me tell you, and I went back and looked for these guys specifically. Josh DeBerry, nickel guy mostly. He played some on the outside, but he played mostly nickel. Which we know we've got a guy that's probably going to play a lot of that nickel spot, don't we?
Which one are you talking about?
Bryce Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
More than likely.
Well, is he going to see the field? This guy going to see the field?
He's a small dude. He's not great in man coverage. He's very handsy in man coverage. Now, he's got decent instincts in the zone game, and for a guy his size, somewhat physical, right? But he's tiny. He's a little guy.
You say 5'11" what?
5'11", 177. So, I mean, we can get excited about Josh DeBerry showing up at A&M, but the fact is that dude's not going to play.
Okay.
He's a depth piece at best.
I think of the three guys you said, I think he has the best chance of playing.
Now, especially because of the issues we've had at corner with the injuries and everything else, he's got a chance, right? The other two, let me talk to you about Finn, the offensive guard. He's a big boy, 6'4", 316. The dude did not start at Boston College until he was a graduate. Fifth-year guy. He started at Boston College. He started their first 4 games and then got hurt. Hurt his shoulder.
So he played last year? He played last year when Adazio wasn't there? 4 games. When Adazio wasn't there?
When Adazio was there.
So he got better. Is that what you're saying?
He probably did.
Okay.
He's played a total of 14 games in his entire Boston College 5-year career. All right, Corey? We're not talking about a guy that, led the ACC in pancakes. We're not talking about a guy that even led his own Boston College team in pancakes. We're not talking about a guy that's played much football at all. And how's he going to provide any depth or help to an Aggie offensive line that already is too deep with 4- and 5-star guys?
You sure? 4 and 5 stars?
4 and 5 stars.
Why they suck?
Because their coach sucks.
All right, so he's not playing.
He's not playing.
We got to have a lot of injuries.
And by the way, he's a 5th-year guy, so he's got this 1 year of eligibility, and he's done.
He made a good call. Yeah.
So great. I'm glad we added him.
Yeah.
The running back from Colorado State played 3 seasons at Boston College, 2 seasons at Colorado State. In his last season at Colorado State, he quit on the team after the 3rd game so that he can go transfer.
Good for him.
He
ain't playing.
He ain't playing.
Yep.
Now the one thing he brings, he's a big back, so he's a change
fullback, or just is he a tailback?
But the truth of the matter is, wouldn't you rather have the guys we have on the roster on the field ahead of this dude?
I mean, I just think Jimbo has roster space and he's just filling it in right now. That's all he's doing. It's depth, practice people. We saw the saw the spring game, and we saw the guys out there. We're like, what? Come on.
I mean, you're right.
I mean, that's the only thing. That's all I can see.
But your boys at Texas shouldn't be selling it to us Aggies as, hey, what a great addition here. What a great addition here. Let's talk about a few of the other guys. Geronte Davis. This is the guy that's probably going to see the most playing time out of the group that's transferred in this spring. Linebacker out of Jackson State.
Yeah.
6'1", 225 pounds. 6'1", 225 pounds, 5 years into his college career, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not like a guy that's just a freshman, still young and growing. No. 5 years. He's had 4. This is going to be his 4th school, by the way. 4th school. Look, he's a 225-pound, real inside linebacker. Not like a sideline to sideline guy. He's a downhill inside linebacker at 225 pounds in the SEC. Now, he was playing at Jackson State. That works.
Oh, yeah.
What's going to happen when he plays it against Alabama against LSU,
His running backs
against Arkansas.
Yeah, they're bigger than he is.
You know what I mean?
He's not going to play. That's what. When you ask what's going to happen when I don't think he'll be on the field.
And don't get me wrong, we definitely need the depth at linebacker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, especially guys that have got reps because we've got some freshmen and all that.
Right.
But would I rather have him out there than Harris? Not me. I'd rather have Harris.
Yeah.
Out there, right?
He's got some game time experience.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Cooper.
The young guys, yeah.
Stanford, York, right? I mean, and those guys a couple of those guys are freshmen, but still.
They need experience.
And physically, they're going to be much better than this dude. Right?
Yeah.
They're going to be much better than
25. I mean, it doesn't make me get excited.
And it's not like he's a speedster sideline to sideline guy. He's a downhill linebacker player. I like the addition because of the fact that we need the depth.
We do.
100%.
Yeah.
But let's not make him out to be the savior of a defense, especially after the fact that we see that the linebacker play has left a lot to be desired. Right. He's not going to be the guy that replaces Perkins, right?
No.
That's at LSU.
Right.
Another guy, Jalen Henderson. Whoa. The quarterback from Fresno State. Now, he's a young guy.
He's going to be fighting for minutes, huh?
Now, he's a young guy. At least he's 2 years out of Fresno State, but 2 years. So he's going to be a sophomore, redshirt sophomore.
Okay.
And I don't know who said it. I don't know who started this.
Yeah.
But somebody brought in the words Lamar Jackson in comparisons to this dude.
Mm.
Let me say this. Look, I hope the kid is great. I hope he does wonderful things. He is not even like Lamar Jackson in junior high, right? He's not that level of athlete. He's not close to it.
Gotcha.
He doesn't have the gun that remember, Lamar can sling it now.
Yeah,
sometimes too hard.
Yeah, he didn't know where it was going, but he could sling it.
This he's got a decent arm, but he doesn't have that.
He's a lefty too, isn't he?
And I do think he's a lefty.
Yeah, I think he's a lefty.
And no disrespect to Jalen, man. I mean, seriously, no disrespect. But they're building him up to be, he's going to compete for the starting quarterback job or whatever. Win. I mean, and if he's competing for the starting quarterback job, I'm just going to tell you, we got problems.
Yeah. We got problems. I mean, yeah, like you said, no offense to the kid, but he's more of a UTSA kind of quarterback where he needs to stay there for a couple of years. And that guy UTSA is good this year.
Yeah, he's good.
But it took him 5 or 6 years to get to where he's at.
Mm-hmm. And maybe, I don't know, maybe as a fifth-year senior, under the same system, maybe he takes over as an interim guy between, Connor and whoever the next guy is, right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Doubt it.
If he sticks around.
Doubt it.
But don't put the words Lamar Jackson anywhere near this kid. That's all I got to tell you. Just don't do it. You're doing him a disservice, right?
True.
I mean, that's just all there is to it. And then Ja'Day Walker, the wide receiver of Grand Valley State. Look, a tall kid. He's 6'4", 185. He's going to be here for a couple years, 2 years of eligibility. He probably doesn't get on the field much this year.
Nah.
Probably doesn't get off. But he is another guy on the outside that helps, right? We've got, obviously, Noah Thomas with the size and things. And, one of the freshmen sort of has some size to him.
No.
But he's kind of a different body than a lot of the guys that we have. So
maybe, like we said, it's just depth. These guys, I don't see why Texas is so excited about them. It's not anything we're excited about. And if they leave next year, I don't think it's going to be a big loss for a lot of them.
Yeah. I'm happy to have all these guys on campus, and I'm not trying. I'm a little out of control here, man. I don't want to be mean to the kids, man. The athletes, the players. It's nothing against them.
Yeah.
But as far as what they mean to this program this coming year and how many wins we have this coming year in 2023, they're probably not going to make any difference whatsoever to this program in 2023.
And if they do make a difference this year, then Jimbo's done something really wrong a long time ago.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So let's talk about Jimbo.
All right.
We got a couple little stories with Jimbo, and you know me, I always love the Jimbo stories. So CBS or ESPN ranked him as the 20th? I think it was CBS ranked him as the 20th best college football coach in the country, down from number 5, by the way.
Really?
What's your take?
After what I've seen in the 5 years he's already been here? Is it in 5 years now?
It's going to be number 6.
His recruiting has been phenomenal.
Exceptional.
Recruiting great. His in-game coaching is terrible.
Horrible.
I didn't know it was this bad until we actually see it, because I didn't pay attention to it at Florida State.
Yeah.
But it's bad. I'm talking in the actual coaching, getting the players year to year to year better. I don't think that's been good either.
It hadn't, right?
Maybe, I don't know if the kids themselves have taken it upon themselves to get better, but like the offensive line, the coaching there is terrible. He needs to step up and be more assertive.
He should have got rid of Adazio this offseason, I'm sorry to tell you.
Well, at least asserted himself into it and said, hey, something's not working here. What are we doing wrong? But you keep doing the same damn thing. Same thing with defensive,
And it took him this long, obviously, to make the changes offensively. We'll see what Petrino does. Look, he went 5-7 last year. 5-7 last year.
Any other coach we had in the past at 5-7
would have been fired.
On the spot.
5-7 last year. I think that's worse than number 20 in the country.
Yeah, with that kind of talent.
With that kind of talent, it's not like everybody wants to put it on injuries and they were young and yada yada. I don't care. I don't care. That level of talent compared to everybody else in the country, and you go 5-7, you lose to App State. Absolutely. You lose to one of the worst teams ever in the SEC in Auburn. Those guys were horrible.
Yeah, Auburn was terrible.
Florida was horrendous last year.
We didn't look like we wanted to play against Auburn.
We made Florida look. We made Anthony Richardson look like a first-round pick that day.
But how did we beat LSU?
There was a couple of things with LSU. I think the matchup was in our favor. But on top of that, look, Moose, Stewart played out of their minds, right?
Yeah.
Those two guys made some plays that just aren't normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
defensively, we played a pretty good game.
But we're starting to expect that from those two, right? Ananias, we're going to expect the same thing. Noah.
Yeah.
I am. I think because Connor, is getting better. That's the problem. I haven't seen our quarterbacks get better. I haven't seen because everybody's like, oh, Haynes King, he got hurt. Well, he came back. He wasn't that good.
He wasn't good. He wasn't not that good. He wasn't good at all.
Well, I'm just saying,
every guy that, by the way, that Jimbo's picked and brought in here has not really been that good. Zach Calzada.
Yeah, Calzada was decent.
He was better than Haynes.
I think so. I think he threw the ball better than Haynes. We saw it in that spring game that one year, and I called it. But you kept saying, and you were right, that Haynes was his boy.
What I said is that was his boy. And he was going to start him.
And he was, and he did.
Right?
Yeah. And
but Haynes was not good. Haynes was not good.
And I'm saying, what I saw at the spring game, I told you at the spring game, I was like, I like Calzada. And you're like, well, he's not going to start. And you're right, because Haynes was Fisher's boy. So.
And in the next year, when it was Johnson and King, I also said Haynes is going to start. And he did. And you know why I said Haynes is going to start? Not because he was a great quarterback, but I thought that he did two. One, he's still his boy. Yeah. Right? He was still his boy.
Yeah.
And two, he gave you an opportunity to be more explosive, which is what Jimbo kept saying over and over in the offseason. We've got to be more explosive.
I understand that, but if you and I can see stuff on tape, why can't other people see it like Jimbo and go, his mechanics aren't right? Haynes is not – that's not how you throw a football.
Yeah.
That is not – you don't wind it up and throw it way back over here and then bring it – whatever the hell he was doing. You don't do that. If you and I can see it from tape and watch it on the field, why can't they address that and fix that or work on fixing that?
And what's really problematic
they're not doing that boy justice.
No, they're not. And what's really problematic is that Jimbo's offense was based off of short timing throws. Well, what happens to timing whenever it takes you 5 minutes to throw the football, right? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right? Where he was better was throwing the ball over the top and for the big explosive plays.
Yeah.
Now, I got him in trouble every once in a while because he threw the interceptions to me. But let's return to the current roster.
We never got to see his athleticism either.
We didn't. We definitely did not.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Current roster.
But let's go back to the current roster.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I feel very comfortable in saying that Connor's our quarterback, even though some people out there keep putting it in the internet that, hey, there's a quarterback competition. Max Johnson may be your starter.
All right.
Let me say this as clear as I possibly can to all listening on Aggie Faithful. Connor Wigman is the starting quarterback for the 2023 Texas A&M Aggies. Max Johnson is the backup. That's done.
Let me say, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If the offensive line sucks, we're going to suck.
That's also true.
That's it. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. We can start that kid from Fresno and they still suck.
So here's the thing, right? We've talked about it, right? He hadn't developed the quarterbacks. He's the head quarterback guru. He hadn't developed any position. He hadn't developed any position. He's made some horrible hires, as going from Elko to Durkin as the defensive coordinator, going from Henson to Adazio as the offensive line coach. I mean, those have been bad hires.
We're regressing, not progress.
Exactly. So as the CEO of the program, he's been bad. Yeah. How is he ranked at number 20? Some people are trying to get up in arms about the fact that why is he so low? He's got a national championship. His national championship was with Florida State, and it was 10 years ago.
Is that Bobby Bowden's team?
No, yeah, have to be. Probably. And don't get me wrong. Recruiter, dude,
phenomenal,
ace, ace.
Yep.
But he's
a salesman, but he can't.
But he's failed at every other aspect of his job.
Yeah, from what I can tell.
So far.
But if he's smart enough, he should hire people that are good enough where he doesn't have to worry about that. I mean, if he knows I'm a good recruiter, that's what I'll focus on. I'll get somebody in here to coach the offensive line that's worth a shit. But evidently, I don't know if Jimbo's screwing him up, because I don't think this guy was that bad at Boston College.
Well,
Adazio that bad? I mean, was he that bad? He had to be good sometime to be where he's at.
Yeah, but that's a great point. Was he coaching at programs where you were playing lesser competition? Was he, whatever it was, it was a different style of football, whatever.
Right.
Whatever he's doing now, it's not working.
I love I think Petrino's going to come in and be more of the head coach. I mean, especially on the offensive side. Jimbo, I'm sure, is going to stick his nose in there. But if Jimbo can just let Petrino do his job, and if Durkin can
not be an idiot,
God,
just don't be an idiot.
Yeah, so depressing. Last year we talked about it, like, just don't screw it up, and he screwed it up. You don't put a 3-man line out there. I mean, I'm tired of talking about that. I just want to grab him.
I'd have Jimbo ranked probably somewhere in the 30s if I had to rank him as a head football coach in college football.
Probably 120-something coaches?
128 coaches.
If there was 128 coaches, how many other coaches could have done a better job last year and not gone 5-7?
77 of them?
That's what I'm saying. I'd say about 80 of them. Does that make Jimbo? Yeah, he's probably a worse coach. He's not.
But I'm not going to take last year as his only year, right? I mean, he does have some history that I think bumps him up some. And that's why I think right now I'd probably rank him somewhere in the 30s, because honestly, I've been hard on old Jimbo, and I'm going to.
Well, you need to be.
He'd be.
But he's not listening.
But he is listening, because he keeps commenting on the same stuff that I'm hard on him about, and then he keeps making excuses about it.
Yeah.
So, good for him.
Good for him.
Where would you rank him?
Oh, like I said, probably in the 50s.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, in my book, I thought we should have fired him last year, but everybody talked about the money. Well,
the money's big.
I don't give a shit. We're A&M. We got the money.
I'll make the argument that you would make up the money if you start winning games.
Exactly.
But you still have to start winning games. All right. So his ranking is there. He also, has, these talks. He goes to speak to the alumni and everything else. He goes to Houston. He goes to Fort Worth. He does.
As long as he doesn't say anything dumb, he'll be fine with those.
And he should just not say anything dumb. But what does he have to do? He's got to make comments about TCU. Let me ask you this: what did TCU do last year?
Oh, they were terrible.
Terrible, right?
Terrible. They went to the national championship game.
National championship.
They got their butts kicked by Georgia, but man, they beat.
Who didn't get their butts kicked?
Who did they beat before that? Before Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, who we had penciled in against Georgia. Yeah, Michigan looked good.
Michigan, who beat Ohio State, right?
Yeah,
Michigan, who whooped Ohio State for that matter, and was undefeated going into that game.
A TCU team that was supposed to finish like last or second to last in their conference.
First year coach.
Yeah, did a hell of a job.
Amazing job. All the guy did was go in there
and win.
A lot.
So he had some close games, don't get me wrong. They trailed at halftime quite a bit and won some money on their team. I like it.
Look, when you come off a 5-7 season, the last thing you need to do is go attack a team that went to a natty.
What do you say?
All right. So the first thing is he starts off by making excuses. He's already throwing his excuses in there. Oh, well, they stayed healthy. They had experience. So why didn't he come up with those two? Because that's why the Aggies sucked last year. Because we couldn't stay healthy and we had no experience. The Aggies sucked last year because your offense was a kindergarten offense that sucked big dick.
Oh, whoa.
That.
Earmuffs, kids.
Earmuffs. All right.
Yeah.
Point being is, first he comes out with the excuses. Then he compounds that by then taking credit for another SEC team's win. Then he got to the SEC and it changed. Let me explain something to you. When you're an SEC team and you lose to App State, I don't think you have much to say about getting to the SEC.
What, TCU lost to App State?
No.
Okay. And I understand, I think where Jimbo's going, that the SEC is tougher than the Big 12, but at the same time, you can't go with what you did last year against App State and go attack somebody that...
Look, we lost to App State. They beat 6 different ranked teams on their way to the college football playoffs. They beat
impressive.
However you want to put it. 6 different ranked teams. And we went 5-7.
Yeah.
Look, don't worry. That's what if they asked me that question and I'm Jimbo, I said,
they had a good year.
They had a great year. Right now we got to focus on what the Aggies are doing.
Yeah.
We got to get better. Yep. We got to get ready to play in the SEC.
It's been like the Aggies will be the TCU of last year.
And hopefully we can be the TCU of next.
Hopefully we can stay healthy.
Boom.
And
boom.
Give compliments. I'm not going to sit there and try to trash a TCU program that came out of nowhere. I mean, they just fired their longtime head coach who went to Texas, right?
Yeah.
Brought in a guy that they thought, he's going to revive the offense. He did. Made it fun.
Hey, they scored 62 points against,
I'm pretty sure,
or 50-something against Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure TCU had more players drafted last year than we did. Past draft. I know they had 3, I think.
Their tailback went ahead of our tailback. The wide receiver
went ahead of our wide receivers.
Or our DBs or anybody else.
Yeah.
So they had players, right? I mean, and I'm not trying to pump up TCU to be the world's best team ever. But you know what? They took care of business last year. I have no reason to talk mess about them. I, as an SEC guy, am not going to sit here and take credit for Georgia's win. Georgia was better than every other team in the country, including anybody in the SEC.
Yep.
If any other SEC team plays TCU for the championship, that's not the result.
No.
That's not the result. And I hate to listen to these SEC, apologists that root for all these shitty teams. And all of a sudden take credit for what Georgia did last year.
Right.
Look, when you get there and you go beat somebody 62-10 or whatever, then you can take credit for that win.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
That's all.
As an Aggie, I'm not taking credit for their win. We went 5-7.
5-7.
All right. Questions from the tailgate, Corey.
Let's do it.
Brought to you by David Coffin PLLC, tax controversy and litigation lawyers, smart solutions for federal tax issues, experience, respective representation for taxpayers, over 20 years of experience in tax controversy, with offices located in South Lake, Texas, and now opening in Bryan College Station. Call 817-251-7049. All right, question number 1. Top 25 college quarterbacks since 2000 on ESPN. I think it's top 75, maybe?
Top 75, yeah.
All right, any thoughts on the list? You want to name a few?
Well, I know that they had Baker Mayfield number 1.
Yep, that's why ESPN's on crack. ESPN, by the way, also said before the Miami and Boston Celtics series said Miami had a 3% chance of winning that series.
There's no way in hell they're going to win.
What's that game? What's that series?
3-0.
It's 3-0. Who's up?
Miami.
Yeah, that's right. I believe the sweep is going to be today.
I don't think it is.
So, Baker Mayfield, number 1.
Cam.
That's a joke. Cam, you got to give some credit to. He carried that Auburn team to a national championship.
But he only played how many years for Auburn?
1 year. 1 year. And won a natty. So I got to give Cam credit. How
many years did Baker play?
He carried that team. Well, he played for Texas Tech.
But did he actually play at Tech?
And then I think he played 2 years at Oklahoma.
See, I don't remember him playing that much at Tech.
He did play at Tech, and he got hurt.
Okay.
Lost his job. Cam, I give credit to. I think he's up there. Vince. Look, the guy Also carried a very talented Texas team to a national championship over USC.
Right.
You got to give him credit for what he did. I can have him up there for sure.
Number 4, Tebow.
You know, won 2 natties. One of them was as a backup quarterback, but won another one after that.
Yeah.
They beat Oklahoma pretty good, I think, in a natty. So, you know, you got to give him credit.
5.
Watson.
Oh, Clemson?
Yep.
No, he was pretty tough.
He was pretty good. I don't think that I'd have him at 5, but he's up
higher
there.
or lower?
I think I'd have him a little lower.
Okay.
Let me give you a couple other names. So 6 is Kyler, 7 is Lamar, 8 is Mariota, Griffin at 9, Trevor at 10.
Who's Griffin?
Baylor, Robert.
Oh, yeah, RG3. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Colt McCoy at 12 and Johnny at 13. Look.
How is Colt McCoy at 12 and Johnny at 13?
Whoever voted for this didn't watch college football very clearly.
Did they not watch Johnny play college football?
It's clear that they did not. All they remember is all his screw-ups in the NFL.
Did they not watch the Alabama games, Johnny?
Apparently not.
They didn't watch the Duke game? That was the craziest game.
I mean,
he willed us to victory in that game. Willed.
Johnny to me is definitely much higher than 13 on this list. He should be in the top 6 or 7.
Oh, top 5, I think. I mean, we're talking
you can make the argument, right?
Just college in the 2000s.
Just college.
Yeah, he's top 5.
Look, Mariota has no reason to be up there.
Nah.
None whatsoever. Nah. Right? RG3,
he's good.
He's good, but was he Johnny? I don't think so.
No.
Colt McCoy, definitely not.
No.
You know, everybody loves Trevor Lawrence. You go look at his numbers and what he actually did. He had a hell of a team around him. I'm not all that impressed.
Yeah.
You know, I thought the list was kind of garbage, actually. Mac Jones, by the way. Mac Jones, who I believe was the quarterback for the most prolific offense in the history of college football, maybe.
He had a lot of weapons.
He did. So did Joe Burrow. Mac Jones, number 38.
So you're saying Mac Jones is better than Joe Burrow?
I'm saying Mac Jones is not better than Joe Burrow, but he's up there. Joe Burrow's number 4 on this list, or 5 on this list, and Mac Jones is 38.
Joe Burrow's pretty badass.
Joe Burrow's badass. I will not argue against that. Mac Jones should be in the top 10.
But then this ranking's not based on stats or anything else.
No.
It's just opinions.
But when I watched Mac, I saw that dude make plays. That's all I saw him make plays. He wasn't that far off.
That's all I saw Johnny do.
That's it. Anyway, for example, Jones, he's behind Stroud.
Colt McCoy.
Stroud, by the way. How many championships did Stroud win? None. Right? That's a team. Did he have weapons?
Oh, yeah.
He's got 2 supposed number 1 receivers that are still there.
Yeah.
That year before, 2 of his receivers went number 1.
Yeah.
His third one went number 1 this year.
Yeah.
How about even guys from the same college, Young and Tua? Were they better than Mac Jones? I don't think so. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Question number 2 for 2023: Vegas odds, win totals, over unders. A&M 7.5.
Under.
I'm
not sipping that Kool-Aid yet.
Okay.
I'm not going to give us the kiss of death either. I'll lose $30 to $50 in order for the Aggies to win more than 7 games.
7.5. Look, they won 5 games last year. They're much better than that. They've got talent much better than that. It's all on the offensive line, to be honest with you. If the offensive line's good, they'll go over. If it's not any good, they're going to go under.
You're going to win 7 games. You got 3 givens.
I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up 7-5. 7-5.
So you got 3 givens. That's 3 wins.
Let me give you some opponents. Tennessee.
Loss.
Bama.
Loss.
LSU.
Maybe.
South Carolina.
Lost to them last year.
Ole Miss.
We haven't beat them yet.
Arkansas. Miami.
Beat them.
Mississippi State.
Beat them.
Mind you, last year we lost to Auburn.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of gimmies.
Look, if the offensive line plays, it'll go over. If the offensive line plays like crap, like it did this past year, we're going to go under. Mm-hmm. That's as easy as it gets. You know what? If DJ Durkin were even a halfway decent defensive coordinator,
right,
I'd go over no matter what the offensive line does.
Right, because we have so much talent.
That front on defense is going to be so stupid.
But he has to get in the backfield and cause chaos. I didn't see it that much last year with a 3-man, and I don't think you will see it with 3 men. You can't. send 3 against 6, and the numbers just don't match up.
They don't match up.
Oh, well.
Hey, DJ, no 3-man line.
Get your head out your ass.
You might win defensive coordinator of the year if you just let him play.
You might be a head coach.
Anything else, Corey?
That's it, buddy.
Give them some love, baby. Gig 'em Aggies.
Woo!
AP, C Money, signing out from the tailgate.